Coast to the West Coast.
It's the Mix Show Madness.
City to city, coast to coast.
This DJ's got the game on lock.
DJ Rampage, the Mix Show Madness.
I get nothing but a beat.
Mix Show Madness. It's your boy
DJ Rampage.
Going in.
One day when I was riding on the train, I seen these two kids talking about the Nubian rain had fallen. I didn't say nothing cause these kids caught my goat. Even pulled my coat like a murder that they wrote. So this kid with mouth swagger now plays the Cloak Dagger. So I got to show boots to macho lock that I am. I could rock a jam, make the world drop hammer. Yes, I'm the bad man, and bad men were black. And if it come to drop bombs, hey, with that. Now I can freak, block, flow, rip up a party, dance all night, and at the end, call the party. You wanted out the style that was made from my mom and my dad. When I was young, I used to run with a notepad. Then time flew, and somehow I knew that I was bad to the bone. Like prodigy since the age of 20. I could write a rhyme, rip it up and write the next one right on the spot. Sign my name with the dot, diamond D through me a smooth beat. Bronx crowd roar, suck up your whack jam, everybody hit the floor. Okay, it's you, Slim, the hard rock, other pack, the one the knee.
Back on Last Day Radio Network.
But something good in his chest, now his whole body swollen.
My man DJ Rampage, Mix Show Madness. Little bit of brand Nubian punks jump up to get beat down.
Check it out now. I ain't going out, man. That short style is dead.
Lord Jamar is very underrated. So is Sadat X. I tried to get Sadat X to come on the show once, and he made it very clear through our direct message correspondence on Instagram that he was not interested in being on the show. But I've had a lot of old school East Coast hip hop dudes on the show over the years. Mostly through my relationship with Rampage. Man. I want to talk briefly about this situation with, and I preface, I'm trying to say this tactfully, because I don't want to alienate myself from any of my sponsors, but we know historically that African American women that go missing do not get the same level of attention that non-African American women that go missing get. I'm sure there's the same issue in the Latinx community. I was actually reading, like I said, I have these bouts with insomnia, and I've been having one of them recently. I was reading, because I'm just up reading at 2 a.m. sometimes. I was reading about there's this highway in British Columbia, goes from Prince George to Prince Rupert, British Columbia, and it's called the Highway of Tears. As basically the Canadian interstate. And there are a lot of indigenous women over the years that have disappeared into thin air or been murdered out there. And there's outrage because out in British Columbia and Yukon territory, you're getting into indigenous people. And there's this huge issue locally, people upset at the Royal Canadian Mounted Police that they don't put the same effort in searching for these indigenous women that they would if it was a Caucasian woman. If you're a minority and you go down to Jamaica, you go down to Montego Bay or Negril or somewhere like that, and you wander off the reservation, you wander off the beautiful surroundings that you get at these all-inclusive hotels, and you get into Gym Pop and end up getting disappeared, end up having something really bad happen to you. If it's a person of color, usually the coverage isn't that bad. If it's a blonde Caucasian woman, her face is going to be plastered on every news outlet 24 hours a day. That's just a fact. We've seen that over the years. But this issue with Carlee Russell, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't pass the smell test. It sounds like a load of BS to me. I hope that I'm wrong. I don't have to print a retraction. I guess I own the network, so I wouldn't. You're not going to hear of Lance J was suspended from Paragon 7 Studios because he made some out of pocket remarks about Carlee Russell and her disappearance in Hoover, Alabama. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to have to apologize because it's my network. I'm the CEO of this mother bleeper. But that story, I'm not gonna itemize. That story just doesn't make a lot of sense. You're driving and you see a toddler wandering on the highway. And I know that stretch of highway in Hoover, Alabama. One of my best friends used to live in Hoover. Used to go down there all the time from Huntsville when I lived in Huntsville. And you see a child wandering, you get out of your car, and nobody hears from you for a couple of days. That has a Jussie Smollett written all over it, in my opinion. That's kind of like Breaking Bad, where Heisenberg, Walter White was out in the desert. He was cooking up meth with Jesse, and I think they ran out of gas. They had an issue with the RV, the rolling meth lab, and so he was gone. He told his wife he was going to some convention. He was gone too long. And they started searching for him, and he ended up taking all his clothes off and wandering into a Circle K and said it was an issue from his cancer treatment. I'm not going to itemize that story. That just doesn't seem to make any sense at all. That she was gone and she returned home on foot. Really not a lot of details. I'm glad that she's healthy, and I don't really care. I mean, if you staged something or whatever happened, or you had a mental breakdown of sorts, as long as Carlee Russell is healthy and safe, and I'm glad that she got some pub. That's why I'm not going to talk too long about it. Good to see the sisters get some pub. But in my opinion, that sounds like absolute pure, unadulterated poppycock. Lance J Show.
That's the end. What you want me to do? Damn.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
At the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program, we give you a network that includes 95% of doctors in the U.S. Referral-free access to specialists. Even gym discounts and incentives. All so we can help you get back to feeling your best. See what we can do for you.
James Lewis.
But of course, her being the older cousin and in charge, we're back there by ourselves. She's playing with this hornet's nest. She's throwing rocks and throwing sticks into it. The bees are buzzing. They get a little frustrated, and they get a little angry, and then she would stop. Finally, she throws a stick at the hornet's nest, and the hornet's nest completely falls out of the tree.
Rampage, the first lieutenant of the Universal Flipmo Squad.
So Marquita beats me to the back door. Now, instead of making sure that her little cousin Jay gets in and she opens the door and makes sure that I'm out of harm's way, because we're getting chased by a nest full of angry hornets. Marquita does the exact opposite. She holds onto that door for dear life. It uses me as a human shield.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
And Doug.
What do we always say, son? Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
So you only pay for what you need.
That's my boy. And you get out there and you make us proud, huh?
Bye, Uncle Emu.
Stay off the freeways. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Live from the Paragon 7 studios, you are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
Paragon 7 Studios.